You know what's interesting about a dental chair? Nobody lies in it. The moment you sit down, something shifts. The small talk stops, the walls come down, and people start telling you things they've never told anyone. Their fears, their regrets, their dreams, their secrets. I've heard it all. My name is Adriana Cappelli. I am the VP and COO of Cappelli Dental in Hillsdale, New Jersey. And for the last 3 years, I've had a front row seat to some of the most real and remarkable human moments I've ever witnessed. This podcast is where the stories live. Confessions at the Dental Chair, where we talk about life, business, love, loss, and everything in between. Because the most honest conversations happen when you are leaning back, staring at the ceiling, and you realize you have nowhere else to go. Welcome. I'm glad you're here. Let's begin. Welcome, Dan Turco, a patient of our practice for the last 10 years.
Yeah.
Also, his beautiful wife, Karen Turco. So it's an honor to have you here. Thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, thank you.
I have talking to you many times. You have a very, very interesting story. And I would like for our audience to know your story. So you grew up in Dumont. So take me back to your childhood home.
Okay, well, actually, in 53, I was only 6 months old. We moved into Glen Rock. Okay, so, and we went to a private Catholic school. There was 5 of us, 5 kids.
Okay.
And that was something. So.
4 boys and 1 girl?
Yeah.
Okay.
And, the neighbors were all new to each other. You know, it was a new development and all. It wasn't a big house, but it was a new house. And that's when I started getting involved with working with my hands. When,
you started
fixing my brothers and sisters' bicycles or stuff around the house. And eventually, my dad's gas engine lawnmowers. I started getting involved with mechanics and all that. And I think that's how I got my start to eventually be a Master Plumber.
Oh, makes sense. So do you think all that started, you fixing things, was in a sense to try to help your parents?
Indirectly it was, but I didn't realize it at the time. But I knew I was helping my father out with the lawnmowers, because I don't even think at the time, with 5 kids and all, and I don't know what kind of paying job he had, but he wasn't buying new stuff. So when I'd find one on the curb, I'd get it going, and he'd use it till it broke again. I'd find another one, and that was for years, that went on. And as I got older and I got involved with cars, and they never wanted me to have a motorcycle, but one day I came home with a motorcycle. But anyway, I fixed all his used cars because he never bought a new car.
Okay.
I mean, till I think he was in his 70s. Bayonne.
Okay. What did he do there?
He was an engineer. He worked for Esso. Pretty busy. Then he got involved with the oil tankers and all that, with a company that was associated with Esso called Butterworth Systems. He was a graduate of Stevens Institute, I think back in 1942,
wonderful.
Before he went to the war.
What a hero.
Yeah, he was
your hero.
Yeah. Navigator on a B-17 bomber.
Oh, wow.
Completed 35 missions, and that was a lot back then because they were losing so many groups and planes that after a while they only made you finish 25 missions. But he completed 35 and got out. I said, how'd you do that, Dad? He goes, because there was a shortage of navigators. He goes, I just went on every plane that needed a navigator, and I didn't fly with the same group all the time. So I said to him, I go, so who was the oldest on the plane? He goes, the pilot. He was 21. 21 years old. Can you imagine that? Yeah, my dad was only 18, 19, so these are guys fighting the battles. He was bombing the bearing factories in Nuremberg. He was on the Mediterranean tour, stationed at Italy.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah. He met my mother. My mother lost her husband in the Normandy invasion, had my stepbrother Eddie. So my dad met him where you meet the widows, meet the troops coming home, and and they got married. So
Okay.
that's
So, do you still remember what was the first bike that you fixed for any of your siblings?
it was for me.
Okay.
And it's funny because my next door neighbor, Bill Rankin, was a Marine, and he was in Vietnam. He did 4 tours of duty, and he was a monster. He used to chug around the block like at exercise, wearing these cast iron shoes with straps on them. I couldn't believe it. So I remember one day I put this bike together, and it was I guess it was a 20-inch bike, a small one. And I didn't have the right size wheel for the front, so I put a smaller wheel in the front and then the back. And he said, "You can't do that." I go, "Why?" He goes, "The back wheel's going to catch up to the front wheel." I'm like, I'm thinking about it, you know. He was goofing on me.
Okay.
But I think that's the first bike I remember putting together. But I got better after that.
So from there, you became a plumber.
Yeah, actually, out of high school, I was prime bait for the draft. I was in actually 3 drafts, but I pulled high numbers all, and it was towards the end of the war, 71, 2, and 3. So my parents wanted me to go to college, but I tried going to night school, William Patterson. I was accepted to,
Okay.
but I was serving in I got a job as an apprentice for a plumber. So, and I was working with my hands. So I'm like, why am I doing this that I love, and then I'm going to school for a business course?
So
it didn't make sense. So I talked to my dad. I said, "Dad," I said, "Look, I think you're wasting your money here sending me back. I really want to stick with being a plumber." And he said, "Okay." So that was it. So I went on. I got my master's and did almost 50 years of plumbing. That's why my body's a little beat up.
Okay.
And like I say, I work with my hands, and they're real metal. I like working with metal. So.
Okay. Is that your favorite material to work with?
Yeah, it was.
Okay. Okay.
And once I finished all them, and I had a collection of those old bikes. And 2 or 3 years ago, I advertised one on Marketplace, and a guy from Italy came over and he loved it and he wanted to take it back to Italy. So he goes, "Do you have any more?" I go, "Well, I do, but I don't want to sell them." So he talked me into it. So I said, "All right." So we went down the basement. He bought my whole collection, all 8 of them. Bought all my bikes.
Oh.
So right now I don't have any except for the ones that I ride myself.
Okay.
I have a Schwinn and
beautiful.
a Mongoose with fat tires like this.
Oh, what color is it?
It's green. Yeah. So then I did the pedal cars, and then I got into restoring cement lawn art, like turtles, frogs, people. I have one set of Pennsylvania Dutch boy and girl that I painted. I enjoyed that. I was mostly doing these in the wintertime.
Okay.
So I did those. Then I got into concrete. I did a nice jockey with the lamp. And this Victorian woman stands about 4 or 5 feet tall. I painted her up pretty nice. I might have a picture of that.
Okay.
And that's where I'm at now. So I'm basically retired since the beginning of the year. And I'm constantly looking for projects.
Perfect. What do you look for when you pick up something, like from a curb? What is it special? Does it need to have in order for you to pick it up and give it life again? Yeah.
Well, I like working with metal.
Metal. Okay.
But now I'm more geared towards things that other people can use. Like if I'll see a bicycle that is really bad, but I see a potential there, that's what I'm going to bring home. I have a whole screen porch full of projects, parts of this. I have maybe 20, 30 wheels from 26-inch bikes. I have containers of seats, spokes, pedals, chains, handlebars, everything. So I'm still out there looking.
Okay.
You know, and that's what keeps me going. Yeah. So.
What would you want kids or young people listening to understand about building something from nothing?
Well, I think this world, everybody's on their cell phones. They don't even come out of their house. When I was a kid, my father had to whistle down the street to get me home for dinner. So we were out the street playing stickball. I don't see that anymore with anybody. I mean, there's some kids that are good with sports and athletics and in school, and I think that's great. But I think the kind of things that I did is getting lost. But
the connection, there is no connection anymore. All the kids are on the tablets. There's no interaction anymore.
Yeah.
They don't play like kids anymore.
Yeah.
What does abundance mean to you now at this chapter in your life?
Well, I want to keep going. From being a plumber for so long and a commercial plumber, my body's pretty beat up, so I want to try to stay healthy so I could continue to do the things that make me happy and make my family happy. They need me and I need them, so I'm all about family right now.
So
Yeah,
that's what
where
really
I'm at.
the meaning of abundance, being healthy.
Yes.
Okay. What would you like to, if you had your parents here, what would you like for them to know? What would you like to tell them?
I think they knew I was headed on the right road. My dad always told me, Danny, you're a survivor, and I never forgot that. And I think about that, and it motivates me.
So where do you sell the pieces that you redo? Where can the audience find them and purchase them from you? Okay.
I mean, I restore old pressed steel toys too. I have too many now, so I'm not buying any on eBay and restoring them anymore.
Okay.
But I sold quite a few like that. Some pedal cars I don't want to part with, like I didn't want to part with my bicycles.
Okay.
But I let them go because the price was right.
Okay, thank you so much, Dan. This was beautiful.
Oh yeah,
Pleasure.
Thanks for letting me tell my story a little bit.
Of course. You're more than welcome to come another time to continue.
Okay, part 2 coming up.
Part 2 coming up.
Give me a little time to get some stuff done.
Sounds great.
All right.